Welcome back. Off screen, I quickly went to the blacksmith and used our dark moonstone to upgrade our falchion 2 more times. Through the archstone of the demon, old hero will fight our next boss. After purification, hero's remains are offered to the Storm King. His wings cover the sky, and he is accompanied by storm beasts. The fog door is waving hello to us as soon as we load in. God, I love Storm King. Just look at the size of him. To our right is a developer message that says, to challenge the storm, you will need a sword that can rend the sky. To my knowledge, we don't possess a sword like that, but we can't exactly turn back, so we have no choice but to explore this rather large, open space. Storm beasts flock overhead and try their luck with projectiles, but as usual with the Thief's Ring, they're not so bad. This crumbled building is the only structure in the whole arena, so let's check it out. The previous residents didn't seem to leave behind a sky-rending sword there, so let's head to the tip of the overhang through what looks to be a graveyard. Even with our low faith stat, the heal miracle is incredibly useful, more so in this game than any other in the series thanks to grass being a limited quantity item. At the very end of the arena, impaled into a corpse, is the Storm Ruler. It has the lowest stat requirements in the game with none at all, zeros across the board. That's nice. As you can imagine, Storm Ruler doesn't function even remotely similar to this outside of the Storm King's boss arena, but inside it lets you hold a ton of power in your hands that just annihilates the storm beasts. At first, killing these things is really all that there is to do. Storm King seems to have disappeared from view. This Passover and barrage of spears is pretty much the only offense that Storm King has, but the boss more than makes up for its simplicity with its spectacle. My first encounter with Storm King immediately made me remember Shadow of the Colossus. I can so easily imagine climbing on top of his back as he flies through World 4, hitting weak spots scattered around while trying to stay on. It's possible to hit Storm King with magic, and it does a significant chunk of damage, but even after all this time, the novelty of Storm Ruler hasn't really worn off on me. It's really satisfying to see such a huge chunk of his HP vanish each time. Oh, just barely got away. We'll get him as soon as he comes back. Or not. There we go. The demon was destroyed. I kind of wish that Storm King didn't dissipate immediately after his death so we could see him splayed out on the ground, but it probably would have been really difficult to make it look good. With the enemies gone, we'll take a look around and do some looting. The Archstone gives us the Storm Demon Soul and pure Cloudstone. Cloudstone is basically just given away in this world, but I suppose it makes sense that an upgrade path for shields wouldn't be the most tempting to grind if Cloudstone was rare. Back to the Nexus.
Thou seekest the soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel.
There we are. 30 magic and 16 endurance. Nice round numbers.
You have your wits.
I just wanted to check to see if the Storm King's boss soul could give us a new spell, and it can't. Which brings us to World 4's White World Tendency events after we read the new Archstone description. Archstone of the Demon Storm King. Like a huge flying stingray, the Storm King is the embodiment of the thoughts of shadow men from hundreds of years ago. Even though World 4 only has one notable White World Tendency event, its quality more than makes up for it in my personal opinion. Mephistopheles is the NPC I mentioned that's involved with Yurt's storyline, wearing the rogue's armor and gold mask. And I totally just now realized that I forgot to get rid of my body form. Just a second, please.
You over there. You seem to have your head about you. Come here. I have a proposal for you. Do not be afraid. You have much to gain. I am Satsuki. I seek a keepsake of my father. Have you seen the sword inscribed? Makoto, I will offer you demon souls if you can help me find it. The Makoto chooses its owner, but he who harbors self-delusions should at once be warned. The Makoto is no sword for the faint of heart.
This is Satsuki, and he only appears during White World Tendency, as I'm sure you've gathered. He gives us a quest to search somewhere in World 4 for a sword called the Makoto, which apparently wields very special properties. To get to it as fast as possible, we'll head back to the Nexus and warp to the Adjudicator Archstone. The Makoto isn't too far a walk from where we loaded in. We'll have it in no time at all. The body clutching the Makoto, when not in White World tendency, is unattainable and strung up on this rock where Patches pushed us down. The magic sword Makoto is an ill-rumored katana mentioned in folklore. It is named for a giant in a distant country. When its unique long blade meets skin, it tears it apart into a wound that is said will never heal. It is a cursed weapon that devours the wielder's life energy, but despite this, warriors continue to be drawn to this katana. The Makoto is similar to Hiltless in this way, but the way they go about draining the player's life force is different. While Hiltless removes 3% of your HP every time you land a strike, Makoto removes 1% of your HP every 2 seconds that you have it out. It's definitely a weapon that puts a lot of pressure on its player if they don't offset the HP drain with something like our Adjudicator's Shield. Now it's time to give Satsuki his prize.
You have found the Makoto, have you? Bless your good fortune. And, well, your good work. Now, just hand the Makoto over to me. Yes. Yes. This is she. This luster. It's finally mine. Except, could this sword really be as deadly as the rumors claim? There is only one way to find out.
Unfortunately, there is no happy ending for Satsuki's story. If you choose to give him the sword, he's eager to try it out and attacks you. If you choose to keep it for yourself, more understandably so, he tries to attack you in order to steal it. That's it. I do quite like the idea in general of a legendary sword that many adventurers have heard about and are seeking, and I like the hunt in general for the Makoto, so I definitely enjoy the reward of White World tendency in World 4. Thanks for watching.